let's start with the NBA night, right? I think it has to be one of the craziest or / weirdest nights in the NBA ever, because we have a situation where a player from the rival team is coming to his ex-home arena, and these fans are cheering for the guy. Actually, he's killing your team. He's scoring 45 points. He's actually becoming only the second player ever in the NBA history to score at least 45 points, both for and against the same team in the same season after Will Chamberlain. At the end, he wins the game. So you lose the game as a fan. And then the whole arena is chanting, fire the decision maker of your team that you're supposed to support. So what was your highlight of this crazy, weird night that we had?
I'll tell it how I saw it in the morning. So first of all, it shouldn't have been an emergency pod. We should have actually planned for Luka's return to Dallas. For some reason, we didn't think about it. But anyways, I wake up, I'm like, okay, let's look at my NBA box scores. Of course, the big game is there. I click on it and I put on the full game because I wanted to see the introductions. I thought that was going to be the main part of the game for me. Of course, I didn't know that was 45 points from Luka at that point. And I look at the pre-game ritual, the whole introduction of LA Lakers, and I'm watching Luka sitting there and shedding a tear, and I'm like, I feel a tear running down my cheek at 8 a.m. in the morning. And my girlfriend's like, what are you watching? And can you turn it down a bit? It's a bit too loud.
What happened, man? Is the world
and I'm trying to
apart?
explain, Luka came back to Dallas after being traded. And she's like, what? Like, what does that even mean? Like, and I had to explain, how men...
It's hard to explain that story.
Men get emotional about sports and these kind of stories of a guy who's been traded without wanting to leave Dallas. And someone wrote a very nice comment. We cried, Luka cried, 45, Lakers in 5.
Okay.
I'm not happy you actually did the Lakers in 5 meme here in our pod, but it's okay. It's okay. I'll give you that. But of course, we have to start from the introduction. And to me, I was watching that and I was like, how did he drop 31 at halftime?
At halftime, yeah.
Like, how did he drop 45 in the game? How can you play when you're feeling like this? I can't understand it, but there was this one great tweet that said, like, this is the most depressing 45 points in a single game. We all know Luka. Luka is talking to the refs. Luka is talking to the fans. Luka is barking at people the whole game. Like, when he's killing the other team, he gets 50 points, but he's also talking the entire game shit with everybody. I mean, and we just saw how Luka got ejected, by saying something to a fan while the referee thought that Luka said something to him. So he's barking every time. We didn't see that today, and it was like the most depressing 45 points ever. But to me, it felt like it's incredible that he actually, did all of that after crying. And when he was asked after the game, he said, I don't know how I did it, because when I was watching that video, Luka was thinking, there's no way I'm playing this game. And then he somehow manages his emotions, drops that 45, and some of those shots were, typical classic Luka playoff type of stuff, off the dribble freeze. And it's just, I mean, to me, it was like insane shots and what he did today.
He's been traded 9 weeks ago. I mean, he lives in LA. He plays with a player who is in a GOAT conversation. He makes a lot of money. I mean, it feels like you should or you could move on, but to see him being so emotional, bursting out that way, like he literally couldn't watch the tribute video. It just felt like how much it actually felt for him, because it's not just about returning home, because as he also said, I was also kind of happy but mad at the same time, because there was so bad information coming out from Dallas, like lack of discipline, out of shape, drinking, smoking, all the worst habits, just to prove their point, why they traded him. So it was such an emotional evening for Luka, and it felt like that he cried out all the shit that was on his head. And I feel that it was an actual closure moment for Luka, this game. Like to go through all of these emotions, to see the support that he received from the fans and from his teammates. I love the reactions of LA Lakers players. To win the game, to be able to score 45 points, to hug those friends that you still have over there, and just to leave the arena this way. I think that every other visit will be way easier, and I really think that he had his closure moments with that game, with that performance, and now it should be easier for him to move on.
And it was an interesting moment seeing him on the bench in the pregame when you said about the tribute video, that it was something that made him even extra emotional. But I feel like, made him cry out all these things like you just said. But I think it didn't matter what's gonna play on that screen. He asked for the towel right away. It was like, okay, I know I'm gonna get
the napkin wasn't enough already in the beginning.
But actually, credit to whoever made that video, because they included some. You could just make it about Luka's highlights, but they included some community moments. They included some moments where Luka is the actual, let's say, leader of the team in terms of, in the huddles, going Mavs on 3 or whatever the saying is. And I was just thinking, yeah, okay, guys, interesting. You're now kind of like, number one thing, remember those not tribute videos, but those highlight videos they released about Mavs, and they were blurring out Luka or whatever. Like they were avoiding any shots with Luka, and now he comes back and they make this tribute video, and then they put these T-shirts all over the arena with some Slovenian text that like thanks
for everything.
Thank you.
Yeah. And I'm like, okay, what a switch up, number one. Number two, did Nico Harrison approve of all this? Or was that, who said, let's do this? Because, the sort of PR side of what was coming out from Dallas about Luka until this moment was a bit rough. So these were two things I was thinking about. What a weird, switch up they had.
Yeah, but Luka said that the moment on the video tribute that got him emotional was when he saw the Western Conference Finals moment.
Yeah.
Because like we were the underdogs the whole time, and when I saw that moment, you could see that he saw only parts of that video because he was so much in that towel, crying but the game itself, it felt to me like the game. If I did not know how the arena looks like, I would say that the game was played in LA.
Oh, for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Like every time Luka touched the ball, every time he made a shot, this was the biggest ovation of the night. Then you get the Fire Nico chant at the end. And there's this timeout. They're celebrating, the Lakers bench are celebrating the moment you guys you mentioned about already. And the whole arena is shouting "Fire Nico," and the cameraman during the game break just turns the camera to Nico Harrison, zooms in for like 2 seconds to him. That was a crazy moment, but I think that's only like on the League Pass / now on Twitter. But you can definitely find it. So,
and there was this stat sheet of Luka: 45 points, 8 rebounds, 6 assists, and then there's this Nico Harrison profile on the screen.
But did you expect him to show up to this game?
You have to.
He knew what was coming.
For sure, he didn't want to attend that game. That's for sure. He was trying to get sick or something, just to miss that game. But like, you have to show up.
I feel like he's used to it now. It's coming every game. This may be extra, but I feel like he's used to it now.
But to be honest, I tried to get myself into his shoes, and like, I cannot imagine myself doing my best work at work, being in this mental state, getting all this backlash. Such a level of hate that it's uncomparable, and
maybe deserved,
because we all it's for sure it's deserved, but we all went through those stressful situations, and we know how it gets into your head and how difficult it is to focus on things that you have to do, and like it's continuing for weeks and weeks, and it's not going to stop. So I'm not sure how he can continue and finish his job in Dallas. I just don't see a positive and successful outcome for Nico Harrison. And actually, checking those highlights, I also typed Nico Harrison on Twitter search, and one of the first things that showed up on the screen was Nico Harrison's Twitter profile. I'm not sure if it's real, but probably because he's just sharing some generic Dallas Mavericks stuff. It has 2,000 followers. And the second profile that was suggested to follow
I already
was
know.
Also connected to Nico Harrison. It has 10,000 followers.
Can I guess the name of it?
Yep.
Is Nico Harrison a bitch?
Exactly. No, is Nico Harrison a bitch today?
Today. And he's tweeting every day.
He is.
And it gets like... he's like tweeting, yes, Nico Harrison is a bitch today, every day.
Man,
and it gets like
that's
30,
crazy.
40, 50K likes. It has popped up like, I don't know, 10 times on my timeline already throughout the days.
I just can imagine real Nico Harrison's Twitter profile and DMs he's receiving. I mean...
No, it's all crazy,
Yeah.
but at the same time, you don't make such a crazy decision. So
True. True.
Yeah.
you get what you get back what you throw out there.
There was this one, another part during the game that I found interesting was Luka scored like twice, 2 layups. And he did that because his great buddy, the one he played in Dallas with, Dorian Finney-Smith, set 2 Gortat screens in the paint, like just blocking the defense to block Luka's shots. And after that second attempt, Luka was so happy. Luka was pointing to him like, you deserve at least one of these points. Like he was saying something like that. He was so happy. And I'm like, you could have seen this in Dallas for another like 5 or 10 years. I mean, depending on how much Finney-Smith plays. I mean, you could have seen that. You could have seen this Luka doing that with another big. Like he's trying to teach that Gorton screen to another. And like first they traded his friend Dorian Finney-Smith like at, I think in December. And then they traded Luka just a bit later. And I was like, Dallas fans, I can't imagine how heartbroken they must be and how long heartbroken they will be. I mean, this is not, maybe you said like this is a closure for Luka, but I think for Dallas fans, as long as Luka is playing in the NBA, as long as Luka is killing in the NBA, they're going to be heartbroken, I don't know, for the next 10 years.
And you never know. Maybe at some point in the long, long future, he'll come back to finish one season with the Dallas Mavericks, but I highly doubt it'll be with the current front office.
And
See, that's
not under the current ownership as well.
Yeah.
I mean, I read some stuff on ESPN, and they say that the organization could lose 9 figures over the next several years. And this season alone, according to ESPN, the Mavericks are projected to lose tens of millions in revenue due to declining attendance and huge drops in merchandise sales, sponsors choosing to cut ties with the team in the wake of Doncic's departure. So it's a huge loss already financially. It's how it's going to be for the years to come. Just a very last highlight I wanted to mention from this game. The tribute video, the presentations, blah, blah, the jump ball. Luka starts the game with kind of, tears leftovers in his ears. Eyes. He's still sobbing. He's like doing like this, starting the game. 4 seconds into the game, there's a dead ball situation. LeBron draws a foul. He shoots at the free throw line, and the whole arena is already chanting, "Fire Nico." When Luka gets the ball, as I mentioned, he was cheered every time he was with the ball. But the energy was like if he was still playing for the Mavs and if he was going after the 80-point game. That's how they treated him up. They played this defense thing in Dallas arena. Luka drains a corner 3, contested shots. He makes the shot. All fans go crazy. So again, it was one of those games that you could only potentially script on ChatGPT or some weird situation.
You couldn't script.
Whoa, too many kudos to ChatGPT. Stop with that.